Haiti is gripped by violence as armed gangs tighten their hold on the capital, Port-au-Prince, and they now control almost 80% of the city. A transitional government is in place after the former Prime Minister Ariel Henry stepped aside last month. Kenya is proposing to send hundreds of police to the country to help stop the violence, but many are increasingly worried about the idea.
In Haiti's capital, Port-au-Prince, violence erupts in seconds and flows uninterrupted onto the city streets. Only when the gunfire ends do civilians dare to assess the damage. Two powerful gangs are believed to have torched this open-air garage. For the survivors, there's nothing left but new wounds to lick.
Everything has been burnt down. We are living in such a bad time. This is not life. Young people who have a profession cannot live here. The country is unlivable.
From 12,000 kilometers away, Kenya's President William Ruto says he might have a solution for Haitians. At the beginning of March, Ruto inked a deal that would see 1,000 Kenyan police officers sent to Haiti to lead multinational security support.
The importance, significance, and urgency of this mission cannot be overstated. It is a mission for humanity. It is a mission in solidarity with our brothers and sisters in Haiti.
The president's offer to send Kenyan boots so far from home has been met with harsh resistance, with critics accusing him of using the deal as a cash grab. America has committed up to $100 million to finance this arrangement. Security analyst George Musamali says Kenyans have no business in Haiti, likening the whole arrangement to something more sinister.
From a security perspective, we are going there as mercenaries because now you're talking about being given equipment, you're talking about being paid, you're talking about being trained. So basically, this is what happens to mercenaries, and I think this is not the right move.
Kenya has a history of sending its police officers abroad, including to Liberia and Yugoslavia. Musamali, however, says this mission is different for one main reason.
Right now, we are going to a country that has no government to talk about. Let the Haiti people themselves help themselves. You cannot help a people who are not ready to help themselves. And helping themselves is accepting that they have a problem. They sit down around a table, have a political solution, agree to disarm, and then now we can send in a mission to go and support in the transition.
Supporters of this deal say that Kenya, as part of a global community, has the responsibility to support her allies, and that sending police officers trained in institutions such as these ones to Haiti will signal Kenya as a reliable partner. However, beyond the diplomacy question, there's also a legal one. The Kenyan courts ruled in January that deploying police officers for peacekeeping missions is illegal. Ruto's insistence on this matter is seen as a violation of the law. In a recent article, Kenya's former Chief Justice Willy Mutunga accused the country's government, the US, and the UN Security Council of luring the officers to a death trap in defiance of the courts. According to Mutunga, these institutions are guilty of overthrowing the Kenyan constitution. William Ruto now walks a political tightrope as he balances Kenya's domestic and global interests. In the absence of a solution, violence remains the only constant in Haiti.
Let's pick up some of those points with Sophie Rutenberg, who's a visiting fellow at the Brookings Institution. She's a former mission planning officer for the UN Integrated Office in Haiti. Welcome to DW. Let's start with that idea about 100 or so Kenyan police officers effectively walking into a death trap, because it sounds, the situation in Haiti sounds like more than can be controlled by 100 or so coppers.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, Kenya has committed 1,000 police officers, but that's still not enough. I mean, it's important to note that Kenya is key to the this proposed multinational security support mission because it offered to lead the mission. And there have been other countries that have offered to contribute troops as well. So the mission, if it does go forward, would not be only 1,000, but could also consist of troops from Benin. They've offered 2,000. Chad, countries in the Caribbean region have also offered troops. So, but you're exactly right that the environment has shifted since Kenya first made that promise. It's gotten significantly worse. And I think where Kenya looked to be coming in to work alongside the partner of the Haitian National Police. I mean, the Haitian National Police is really struggling these days, and there's obviously kind of a real gap in terms of leadership. So it's Kenya obviously agreed to kind of pull back and reassess and wait for a new government to be in place following the Prime Minister's offer of resignation, but there's a lot to kind of figure out, and it's a very difficult situation to sort through. So Kenya has my sympathies.
And your point about the Haitian National Police is an interesting one, because this sounds like a job for an army rather than a police force.
Yeah. Haiti's army was disbanded back in 1994 by the former president after serious human rights violations. So it's had only the Haitian National Police for the last, couple of decades. But the Haitian National Police is quite small. It's even before all of this started happening, there just were not enough to go around. And even when the Haitian National Police was pursuing its own kind of attacks against gangs, you sort of saw a whack-a-mole type thing where they'd go in and try and clear things out, and then the gangs would come right back. So yeah, we're in a very concerning situation where it has escalated really beyond kind of the capacity of the Haitian National Police and potentially beyond the capacity of police forces in general, except perhaps the most robust police forces.
Now, I understand you've been part of previous UN efforts to try and stabilise Haiti. Why did they fail?
That's a great question, and I think all of us have been kind of thinking and working on that for a while. I think fundamentally the UN wasn't able to address root causes of the situation in Haiti. There are huge political divisions, huge divisions in the country about how the country should spend its money, what it should focus on, how it should basically proceed forward. And security was better while the UN peacekeeping mission was there between 2004 and 2017. But it was sort of a kind of a false security. And I think the UN and a lot of other kind of observers saw that and said, oh, well, the Haitian National Police is at a point where it can kind of take over authority for the country's security situation. But it really sort of, once the UN peacekeeping forces withdrew, things have just gotten worse and worse. And yeah, I think it's time to kind of reassess and kind of start thinking about things from the beginning again.
OK. Is Haiti ungovernable? Because this is not the first time that it's the first time it's had problems on this scale, but it has a history of political instability.
I mean, I would very much argue against that there is potential for Haiti to kind of live up to its status as kind of this historical beacon of liberty as the first kind of independent Black republic. And I lived there 3 years, and a lot of what I saw really pointed to just kind of the capacity of Haitians to come together. But in this circumstance, they have not been able to come together, and there are seriously deep divisions that are basically preventing the country from moving forward. So I think it's key for Haitians to seize this moment and put differences aside and learn to compromise so that they can kind of recover from this precipice that they're standing on.
Thank you for talking us through that so clearly. Sophie Rutenberg from the Brookings Institution. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Well, let's bring in Rosa Fredman here. She's a professor of law, conflict and global development at Reading University in the UK. She is an expert on Haitian politics. Thanks for being with us. How much help, Professor, do you think a 1,000-strong Kenyan police force would be for restoring order in Haiti?
I mean, this police force who doesn't speak the local language of Creole or French or even Spanish, which, is a third language in Haiti, that doesn't know the local context and does not understand the political climate, it will be very little help to the Haitian police and military on the ground, and will actually be more of a hindrance. The worry will actually be for the security of the 1,000 people coming from Kenya, rather than whether or not they can help with the security on the ground in Haiti.
As we heard in the report, the decision to send Kenyan troops has been met with harsh criticism there. Why is Kenya's government backing the mission?
Well, we have to understand the economies of peacekeeping and the economies of intervention. Kenya's government will be paid a set amount of money per soldier or police officer deployed. That amount of money is probably more money than they actually pay out to those individuals, so they will be making an economic profit from it. But there's also the political economies of peacekeeping. When peacekeepers are deployed from a country, that gives Kenya or other countries that deploy peacekeepers political capital within the United Nations. It brings them into tables and rooms of power that they don't otherwise walk into. So there's lots of reasons for Kenya's government to be sending out these 1,000 men and women, but those reasons aren't really caring about Haiti.
Now, there's still talk of finding alternatives to address the problem. What about the prospect of a UN-authorized military intervention in Haiti? Is that a realistic option for addressing the country's security crisis?
Well, let's be clear. The reason that Haiti goes through these cycles of violence and instability is because for the last 200 years, there's been international forces in different guises that take over the country. First of all, the United States occupied the country between the two world wars. There's been a UN intervention recently that lasted for about 15 years and has only recently been taken out. Having yet another international intervention is not what Haiti needs. Haiti was the first Black sovereign state. It was the first country to throw off colonialism, to abolish slavery. And yet time and again over the decades, there's been more and more interventions that doesn't allow for Haitians to solve their own problems and find Haitian solutions for Haitian problems.
Now, Haiti does not have a functioning government at the moment. There's a transitional council that's being put together. But how could any international force get a proper mandate to intervene?
Well, there will be no legitimacy for any international force. The Transitional Council, this interim government, may say that it's okay for an international task force to come in, but that doesn't give the task force legitimacy on the ground with Haitian people, bearing in mind that they did not vote in this Transitional Council. And in fact, they didn't vote in the last Prime Minister, Ariel Henry, who ruled for 30 months unelected after the president was assassinated. The only way that there will be legitimacy on the ground is once free and fair elections have been held in Haiti. And the only way that Haitians will accept any kind of international support is if it is support for their police and their military, not if it's a top-down intervention.
OK, I'm afraid we're going to have to leave it there. Professor, thank you very much. That was Professor Rosa Fredman at Reading University in the UK.
Thank you.